Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
Canelo exposed by Bivol proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of Canelo exposed by Bivol's subscribers. Now, listen, man. In the midst of Canelo getting thoroughly outclassed by a much superior fighter in Dmitry Bivol, his fan base has tried to come up with all these ridiculous excuses that he dared to be great when in all reality he was a 4-1 favorite. They say he fought a much bigger man when in reality Bivol is no bigger. He's actually smaller than Callum Smith, who was, Ring Magazine champion and had a belt when Canelo beat him. His arms are shorter than Caleb Plant's arms, and he might even be smaller than Plant or around the same size, but his arms are definitely smaller than Plant's. Or his reach is shorter than Plant, I should say. And I don't know about Billy Joe Saunders, so I haven't checked it out. But, you get where I'm going. Like, you can't say that, he's this great fighter when he knocked out Kovalev, who was a light heavyweight just like Bivol and was a big guy. And most of the champions that most succeed are either bigger than you or have much longer arms. So my thing is this. I think the Canelo fans are out of pocket. They need to call it for what it is. This was not Canelo trying to be not daring to be great. He didn't pick Bivol because he was daring to be great. He picked Bivol because he was handpicked. Now, you don't got to be mad at me because I ain't the only one who thinks this. Now, Russ Anber, one of the best cut men and one of the best trainers in Canada and been around boxing for 43 years, been around for forever and a day, has forgotten more about boxing than I will probably ever come to know. He had a tweet agreeing with my statement. He said the following, and I quote, and I'll leave the tweet in the description for you guys so you guys can read it for yourself and come to your own conclusions and your own surmise. But Russ Anber said the following, and I quote, "There is absolutely no doubt whatsoever that Bivol was picked. He was picked by Canelo. Cherry is not the correct term, but he was definitely handpicked. They," which, they being Canelo's team, Eddie Hearn, Eddie Reynoso, "they saw a light-punching, inexperienced kid who was hurt by Joe Smith Jr., and they picked him. Believe that." And also, I'll add to that as well. What they also saw was a good technical boxer who really hadn't set the world on fire in his previous fights against Craig Richards and Umar Salamov, and that strengthened their confidence to go out and pick Bivol and go ahead into so far as like make a fight with him. No, that's the reality of it. So I don't like how the narratives of this fight are that he dared to be great when in all reality they were already trying to make it the third Golovkin fight happen after this fight. And then after the third Golovkin fight, they were going to make a fight in England against either John Ryder or Craig Richards. The reality doesn't add up with the narratives that the Canelo fans are trying to paint and that even some of the media is trying to paint. Even some of the fighters are trying to paint. The reality is that, yes, Canelo Alvarez was trying to scale 175 for a second time, and he was fighting a champion. We don't ignore that fact. But it was a calculated risks, and there were factors that allowed Canelo to feel comfortable fighting this guy. Now, had Bivol, let's just say, right, had Bivol looked impressive against guys like Craig Richards, Salamov, and even some of the fights before that, then I don't think this fight happens because, when Canelo won the belt in, 2019, Bivol was about a year or so removed from knocking out Sullivan Barrera. And he was looking like a top-class guy at that time. And he vacated the belts immediately before he could get Bivol's name out of our mouth. But once Bivol started looking less than ordinary, average, or just good enough to win fights against that level of opponents, then Canelo fought him. It was a calculated risk, and you got to call it for what it is. It doesn't mean Canelo is a bum. It doesn't mean that he's not elite because he is the elite. But just call a spade a spade. Call it for what it is because I'm not the only one saying it how it is. There's many other boxing fans saying it how it is. There's many other experienced people like Russ Anber, who's been a cut man. He founded Rivals Boxing Gloves. He's got his own gym. This guy knows the sport inside and out. And if he's saying it, then it means that maybe your boy BT isn't so crazy in that even though Bivol was a great boxing talent and he ultimately displayed it on the night against Canelo, don't try to go back and rewrite history. He was a hand-picked opponent. A handpicked opponent for Canelo, the Canelo gravy train to keep marching forward, and it didn't go as according to plan because what they failed to realize is that Bivol didn't have to bring his A game or even his B game against guys like Richards or Salamov or those kind of guys. but he brought his A game for Canelo, and you saw that his A game was way too much for Canelo. And now the same Canelo who said that he can beat any fighter at any weight because he's experienced and he knows all styles and all this bullshit he likes to say out of his mouth. The same Canelo that was saying all that he was more than fine for light heavyweight, he's not too small. Now he's trying to get Bivol to fight, not at the weight class he lost at, but at 168 because he happens to have the belts. If Canelo Alvarez really was daring to be great and he lost Bivol, he would try to just give him the rematch at 175. But he doesn't want to do that, so he's trying to do the only thing he can do at this point because he knows he can't win. He's trying to drain Bivol and beat him so then he can avenge the loss and the gravy train can continue to roll on. But Bivol is a little too smart for that. I don't think Bivol would take the fight at 168 because he said himself that, you know, he can't make the weight. He's questioning if he can make the weight. So if he's questioning if he can make the weight, then he probably can't make the weight. And Canelo, if he wants to beat Bivol, he should have to be in at 175. But make no mistake about it. On May 7, 2022, when Canelo fought Bivol, he was handpicked opposition. They treated him like garbage. They didn't play his anthem. They made him as a champion walk out first. And Eddie Hearn couldn't even be professional enough to hide his biasness and hide his love for Canelo Alvarez, when in all reality he should really have been giving Bivol equal support, if not more than Canelo, because when Eddie Hearn first launched Matchroom Boxing in the USA, Bivol was one of the first guys he signed. And you know, the fact that, you know, he really has taken this course in his career to where he's been saying like, oh, well, when he didn't have Canelo, they should ban him. He's been taking PEDs. Now he's his best friend. So it looks bad on Eddie Hearn. It's a bad reflection on him. But I'm going to leave it at that. Those are Russ Abner's words that agree with mine, that Bivol was handpicked by Canelo. The Canelo fans will get mad, but it is what it is. You guys can take it how you want to take it. But yeah, like let me know what you think. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here. Boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.